This video will show you how to edit sketches to fixed geometrical and dimensional constraints. As in the previous video, I start by creating a new model and starting a sketch. You'll see that when I'm sketching, dimensions and constraints automatically appear as I go. For example, as I draw the first line, you'll notice how dimensions have appeared, showing its length and its angle from the x-axis. Now when I go to add a second line, dotted lines appear from defining points of the first, so that if I wanted to, I could draw directly vertically or horizontally from that initial line. If I draw a line like so, the second line has snapped to parallel with the first, and as such, these two blue dashes appear on each line to show that they are parallel. At the end of the lines, these blue dashes indicate that the endpoints are on the same x and y coordinates. Drawing a third line, you can see it snapped to perpendicular, as indicated by the perpendicular constraint symbol. If I add a circle down here, you can see it snaps to a point where one of the lines is tangential to it, as indicated by the blue line at the point they meet. Blue constraints are called driving constraints, and these are fixed, meaning that if I tried to change the position of the circle, I can move it, but it will stay tangential to the line, and only change its radius and the location of the center point to accommodate this. To edit any of the dimensions in the sketch, double-click them. As the lines have all automatically constrained to each other, editing one will most likely edit them all, as they're bound by these driving constraints. You'll notice that when I've edited a dimension, it becomes a driving constraint, meaning that dimension's fixed unless I otherwise change it manually. If you wish for any of the automatic dimensions to stay constrained, right-click it and select Convert to Driving. Now, there will be times when the software wants to automatically constrain your curve when you don't want it to. For example, here I'm trying to sketch a connecting rod from within an engine. NX is assuming I want the lines to be tangents to both circles, when really I want them a bit further in. In this situation, you need to come over here to the menu drop-down, go down to Tools, go into Sketch Constraints and select Inferred Constraints and Dimensions. Now, you can turn on and off any of the sketch constraints that NX may infer while you're sketching. If I turn off the tangent constraint and hit OK, I should now be able to draw my line as intended. Now that I've created my lines, it looks a little cluttered and hard to see my sketch, so what I can also do here is click more on the Direct Sketch ribbon and turn off Display Sketch Auto Dimensions. Now I can clearly see the sketch, and only driving constraints and dimensions are shown. Now I've got the sketch I want, I'll go back into the inferred constraints and turn the tangent constraint back on, so I don't forget about it later. The next way to use constraints to help in your sketching is by applying constraints to the sketch once you've drawn your curves. Here I've drawn a rough profile. It looks messy and I want to turn it into the sketch shown here using constraints. To see it more clearly, I'm going to hide the auto dimensions, and now I can apply constraints to create a more desirable sketch. To do this, you select two lines or 2 points that you wish to be constrained, and compatible constraint options will be shown to you. To start with, I'm going to select this endpoint and the endpoint of this line, and as soon as I do, you see a small options box next to the cursor. From this I can add constraints to make the points coincidental, meaning the lines meet each other, or vertically or horizontally aligned, or fixed to their current locations. I also have the options to add dimensions between the 2 points. If I move my cursor away from the point, you'll see that options box fade away, but to get it back, all I need to do is right-click on one of the points. At the moment, I want to connect the profile, so I'm going to select Coincident, and the arc has grown to make the 2 points meet. Now if I select these two lines, you'll see that line constraints have a range of different options. I can make them perpendicular, parallel, equal length, fix their current length, and so on. For now, I want to make these two parts 90 degrees to each other, so I'll go and hit perpendicular. The next two lines need to be perpendicular as well, so I'll add that. Again, the next corner needs to be 90 degrees. Now, I just want to make the arc be off to the side, almost like an axe head. So the best way for me to do that would be to add a vertical constraint between the arc centre and the start point of the arc. Well, now you can see what has happened, and this definitely isn't the part I wanted. The thing is, all of the constraints here are correct. I know they can result in the part I wish for. The problem is there are other geometries that also fit these constraints. This can be a problem if you rely too heavily on the constraints to solve your problems and just assume that the software will always know what you're trying to do. Now, if I undo my constraints, we'll go back to the very start and try again. The first coincidental constraint was okay. It's always best to start with a connected profile. Now, in order to help the software understand what we want from it, it's best to edit your sketch to a rough version of the desired end product. You can do this simply by clicking on a point or line and dragging it to a new position. I'll start by selecting this end point of the arc and dragging it to be somewhere below the other end point of the arc. I'll then select this bottom corner to be more perpendicular, and the same with this top one. Now you can see when I drag that top corner, the software still wants to add constraints automatically and has snapped to a point so that the lines that meet there are horizontal and vertical respectively. This works for me as it fits my desired sketch, so I'll place that there. I could keep going, but now the sketch looks closer to my final image, I'll start to add constraints manually. Firstly, I want to make these two lines perpendicular as before. Now, see here that I've actually selected the midpoint of this line rather than the line itself. So to deselect a part or feature, just hold down the Shift key and click it, and then release the Shift key and select the lines intended, and hit perpendicular. I'll continue on my way around the sketch, adding in perpendicular constraints. Now, at the arc, I'll select the midpoint and the top, and vertically align them. Then I want to do the same again with the bottom of the arc. Now I want these three lines to be of equal length, but just for argument's sake, what do you think would happen if I clicked parallel? Well, this brings up an error message saying the sketch is over-constrained. This means we've applied so many constraints that some of them are contradicting each other, and these become highlighted in red. Here, the fact that we just tried to make these two lines parallel contradicts our earlier constraint making them perpendicular. This is something you always have to be wary of when constraining sketches. Sometimes the sketch may have inferred a constraint early on that prevents you from editing it how you want. Anyway, for now let's hit undo and make these three lines equal lengths. The last thing I want is for the right hand line to be twice the length of the other straight lines. Well, there's not a button for that, but what I can do is select the midpoint of the right hand line and the point where the arc meets this straight. Now if I make these 2 points horizontally constrained, then the longer line must be twice the length of the shorter line. Now that we've fully constrained the sketch, you can see what happens if I try to edit it by dragging any points or lines. I can only change the position or the dimensions of the sketch. The geometry itself is all fixed. If I now drag this corner onto the origin of the sketch, that point will become fixed as well, and all I can do then is scale the sketch up or down. Now if I go back onto the Direct Sketch More menu, and turn Display Sketch Auto Dimensions back on, you'll see there's only the one measurement. This is because all of the dimensions in the sketch are now connected, and showing that one dimension gives a value for all of them, as the arc radius is the same length as the smaller lines, and half the length of the longer line. Now if I edit that value to be 20, you'll see it's fixed the sketch, and now I can't edit it at all by dragging. The only way I'd be able to change anything about this sketch now would be to edit that dimension or remove some of the constraints by selecting them and hitting delete. Now that we know how to sketch out our parts and edit them as needed, we're ready to turn 2D sketches into 3D models.